Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see a thing through these cataracts.
I'm going to save with my hands! Watch your stones!
Hey, mate.
Hey, Edgar. Oh boy, his spike buttons are ready to blow.
Welcome to my...
Been on the road so long, don't...
Ah, is it true what they say?
Exaggerated.
Oh, forgive my asking about thy family in Edern, see?
Mentioned you have a family in Eddern. Where...
In Vengerberg? You've been there?
Yeah, number of times. Of someone very dear to me. At any rate, pretty town, Vengerberg. Also didn't suffer too much during the invasion, from what I know.
Phew. That is a relief to hear. A weight off my shoulders, I tell you.
Jump. Should...
Aim to hop on a horse after making merry? Don't even consider it.
Hey, Edgar. Are the rumors true? Are the elfin ruins?
Crap. So long.
Just in, jewel-encrusted galligaskin. The latest range.
Nothing special.
Mouthstripe.
Seeking out the witcher. Our knights rode as far as the lands they call them.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Faulty. By order of the Duchess, I previously served with distinction at the Nibley family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cutpurse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exception. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from...
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great... He never hesitated, not once. Monsieur Bolius on the... Sadly...
Shame that.
Not at all.
Mind giving me a...
Not in the least. Follow me, please. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details.
Been a major domo.
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos.
Your life?
My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him,
Drink up
as
while
was
the-
my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
I'd rather be an eagle than a quail. Yes, I should.
The servants'
I
quarters.
only could.
I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Follow me, please. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Give my wife a good long night. Monsters are your cat.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
You smell that? Those are the vapors of Busan. Every single lady keeps a devil somewhere.
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
A witcher. We could use
Monsieur
one around
Bolius's
here.
wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
A man who dare not down some red is a man whose wives like to thump his head.
On knight's errand? They're so heroic, we had to summon a witcher to do their work.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Pass. The pile of work remains the same.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which...
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained.
Use one around here.
But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
A witcher. We could use one around here. Full time.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corvo Bianco is a beautiful estate. One must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more...
Oh, yes! The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table.
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yaruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most one... Will you be needing anything?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall... Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or something.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompali's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons. I understand, of course. As the Venerable Lady Eve Knibli...
That's all for now.
The days pass. The pile of work remains.
A witcher. If we could use one around here.
Ah, a professional. I like to trade.
What have you... So long.
With the heft of man and a mighty cry, I pound steel and watch sparks fly.
Witcher act always with reason.
Ah,
What have you... So...
with the heft of man and a mighty cry, I pound steel and watch sparks fly.
Unbelievable.
Days pass. The pile of work remains the same.
How might I...
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should...
As you wish.
Been thinking about...
If I might. Not only did the resident...
It's in your hands then. Make the plate.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest highly skilled at what they do. It shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your... Is there anything...
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration today.
I shall be glad to answer.
Thanks.
I'd stomp wine with that.
smells like an angry wolf.
Fetch this empty dead.
Renovations coming along.
Wonderfully. The furnishings you...
Thanks. Gotta get back to my
Rossi, you're all right. You wear my ring.
Stew for stew you have to chew.
Renovations coming along all right?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In other news, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery. I believe it's something you'll wish to see.
If you say I should see it, I'll go... Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. A laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time. storm, damn it. BB, know anything about the laboratory in the cellar? One of the
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it. But I understand that to a witcher this must...
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragonglass vials and flasks, stills, sublimated...
Forgive me, sir, but I fear I don't follow.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff...
Then I am all the more delighted. You just...
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should keep going.
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house or the grounds this time?
Starting to get...
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that the general refurbishment is done, why not see to the grounds?
You know Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I finally got a decent place...
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable owner. Just say the word, and I'll have them start working. Ponder the notion.
Let's put a pin in this for...
Not the slightest problems.